Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The woman, she says she sold her Honda Fit,
Mm-hmm.
but swears it wasn't the one involved in the accident.
Interesting. Why even mention that then?
Right. Like, why draw attention to yourself?
Unless she's trying to throw them off.
A red herring.
Exactly. Like maybe she's worried about whoever bought the car.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Or maybe she knows more than she's letting on.
And speaking of knowing more, now they're looking for a male suspect.
Hmm.
Do you think that came from something she said?
It's possible.
Or maybe they found new leads on their own?
Yeah, they could be following up on tips,
Checking security footage, maybe?
or phone records.
Trying to piece it all together?
Exactly. It's all about connecting those dots.
So we've got a woman who sold a car, a burnt Honda Fit miles away,
Yeah.
and now this mysterious guy on the loose.
It's a lot to unpack.
Like, what's the motive here?
Right. Was it an accident and then a cover-up?
Or was it intentional from the start?
That's the question. It's like we keep finding new clues and they just raise more questions.
Yeah, it's turning into a real detective story.
And the setting, right?
Aruba.
Exactly. A small island, that adds another layer to this whole thing.
Yeah, it's not like a big city.
No. In Aruba, everybody knows everybody.
Or at least they've heard of each other.
Right. Word travels fast.
So do you think that makes it easier or harder for the police?
Well, it could go both ways.
How so?
On one hand, people might be more willing to help.
Because they want justice to be served.
Exactly, especially if they knew the victim.
But then on the other hand, you have the opposite.
Yeah, sometimes those close-knit communities, they protect their own.
Even if it means hiding the truth.
It happens. Witnesses might not want to come forward,
Because they're scared.
maybe, of what might happen if they talk.
Especially if the suspect is well connected.
Right.
And then there's the fact that it's an island.
Literally surrounded by water.
So there are only so many places you can go.
Exactly. It's not like you can just disappear.
That could work in the police's favor, right?
It could, but it also means the suspect might feel trapped.
And do something desperate.
Like burning the car to get rid of the evidence.
Maybe. Or even to send a message.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
I don't know. Maybe a warning to someone else involved.
Or to scare off potential witnesses.
Wow, that's pretty dark.
It is, but remember, we're just piecing together the puzzle here.
And sometimes the pieces lead to some pretty unsettling places.
Every detail matters, even the strange ones.
So it's not just about the forensics or the police work.
It's also about the people, the relationships.
The whole fabric of life on the island.
Exactly.
So where does that leave us? Are we any closer to finding out who this guy is?
Well, at least they've identified a suspect.
That's progress.
And knowing the island, knowing the people, that could be a big advantage for them.
It feels like we're still missing a lot of pieces, though.
True, but we're getting somewhere. We've got a possible suspect now, and maybe a motive. And we're starting to understand, I think, how this island community plays into everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, those movies where it's always the person you least expect.
Right. You think of Aruba, you think of beach.